Hey, good morning everybody. AJ here, and we are getting ready to head down to St. Paul's Church of God in Christ down in Emporia. We've helped them out before in a couple of videos that I will tag above, but Pastor Allen wants to check out doing some multi-camera stuff there in the sanctuary. So we packed up the PTZ optics camera that we had at the football game, and we're going to take that down there and just I got all the cabling and stuff so we can plug it directly into their system just to give them an idea of what it can do. And I'm wondering, should I bring the A10 Mini? Yeah, I think I might. Yeah, let's do that. Alrighty, so we are here at St. Paul's here. I don't know if you remember that guy here. We were here a while ago talking about adding some of the stuff that we did originally. This is where, once again, y'all know I don't like attics. But that's when we were climbing up there to run some cable. But we're going to be just talking about expanding. They want to do some other cameras as well too. And like I always told y'all, start with where you got, because doors will open once you have your willingness to move in that direction. A lot of times people are like, I only need one camera. And then when the vision gets there and then you start seeing the interaction, it's like, wait a minute, we could actually do more. That's what this is about. But let's go ahead. I brought the PTZ optics camera, and we're going to set this up just so we can give him some ideas of so he can visually see what's going on. And then it's easier to place. Yeah, I would like to have a camera here, there, something like that. So let me pull out all the stuff that I left in my suitcase from the game, and we'll go from there. Alrighty, so I think we had a good little meeting what we're planning on. So right now that is a 4K Panasonic camera. Pretty much gonna replace that with PTZ, put it mounted on that back wall. Still gonna use the camera as a roaming camera, and then possibly putting another PTZ out here or at an angle on that side wall right now. All of them are going to be PoE powered so that we can send everything where it needs to and limit how many cables need to be going back and forth. So we got one for power, one for also network, another one for control, and then the SDI cable to send video over there. So we had the PTZ optics set up here temporarily just to give an example. Also had the ATEM, but looking at going with an ATEM Mini Pro so that it will be over here in their original setup, and then it will be a multi-view TV hanging right here. Give them all the functionality that they need. Presenter will route into that. All the cameras will be routed into there. Have the joystick over here as well. Sound from the Behringer going into the ATEM Mini Pro. And the system is fast enough to live stream, so this will live stream, but then also the ATEM Mini Pro can live stream to a different platform because they're streaming to Facebook and YouTube. So instead of going through Restream, you could save and just have one do both, but it's good that they have options. But I'm going to get on the road here in a little bit, pack this stuff up, and then we're going to be heading, doing an estimate for them, and we'll be hearing back. And if we're here to install stuff, I'll bring you along, and we're going to be doing revision. So after this, I'm heading to my home church once I pack up, and we'll go from there. Hey folks, so I am here at my church because as I was driving past to get home, I saw some people were here, so I decided to stop by, and I want to test out to see what it would look like with integrating this PTZ optics here in my system here at church. So the idea, like I said, we have this makeshift one that we did right there and one right below. And the idea would be, well, first off, it would free up a lot of stuff. And I'm just trying to think, we wouldn't need converters because we're coming straight SDI. And if it wasn't for the fact of me playing, I would leave it in place. I just don't think that would be kind of good to leave this up here and mess everybody up off the cuff without knowing what's going on. But let me go ahead and set this up because, again, we have everything routed through our cameras except for the one that's right over here. because it's so close, it's HDMI. All of them are already connected to our ATEM television studio over SDI. So that would be really simple. I just have to remove the converter off of it, and then boom, I hook everything up. And we're so close, I don't need the adapters or anything for the remote control. I just want to turn the system on and just see what it would look like with adding all that stuff to the system. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so got it plugged in, and that's what I have projecting right now. You can see this is the multi-view, this is the PTZ optics. I had to turn it down to 1080i 60 because that's what the G20 is the max that can be done. Everything else can do 1080p 60, but the G20s can't. So if these were replaced, then everything can go to 1080p. I can take out the up-down cross HD that's converting the 1080i to 1080p before it goes out to the TVs and the stream. But I'm able to zoom all the way in from back here. That's where it is right there. I'm able to zoom in from there all the way into our baptismal pool. So that would be more than enough there. And I'm thinking it could also help remove the need of these side cameras, because we can set it to the locking positions of the left and right podium as well as the center. For that would be on this back wall, and then on the front we could set it to do similar positions if need be. And that would free up the need of all of the TVs, the extra monitors for the remote, because whoever's operating it can just look at the multi-view to get the shot. So that would be the PTZ that I have installed here. We would still keep the static, but then the front camera could be that one, or you could just take the other G20s and move them up here and then move these to the chapel. But good to know that it will work in theory as well as in practice. It would actually work. So I'm helping Trustee Parker with his phone right now. Once we finish that, I gotta go to the grocery store and then unpack, then head right back out and pick up the little one from school. So yeah. All right, so we are back from a very long day. Had a lot of stuff going on. Might not know, I have a system behind me building. Finally got my hands on another Ryzen 5 3400G at retail price. Yay. So I got that system on standby for a church that's back in my hometown, waiting on that. But more importantly, let me walk you through the design of what I plan to do at St. Paul's. So I've already sent them my estimate, but I just want to walk you through everything again of what I was going to do. And let's go ahead and do an incognito window here. All right, so let's go to BH Photo. So I gave them three choices on PTZ cameras. We have the PTZ optics, we have the Ada imaging, and then we have that same brand SMT AV that I think Pastor Alicia used at Greater Works. So I like to give them an option. I am leaning towards either the Ada or the PTZ optics. PTZ optics is my first choice. But again, when it comes to things like this, I like to give people different options, different price ranges, because the idea is, they can always upgrade, move the camera. If they go with a cheaper option and they don't like it, they can always move that camera over to a different area of the church, or they can just return it and then up. When I gave them the budget, I priced it for the higher, more expensive cameras so that it's already been approved. If they go for that, if they don't, hey, they get a little bit of money back because they don't have to go all the way to the top. All right, so let's show you what we got here. So obviously we are starting off with the ATEM Mini Pro, mainly because they want a multi-view output for all of the cameras that are going to be involved. So out of those four inputs, we're going to have two PTZ cameras going in. We're going to have the presenter by Worship Extreme going in so they can do their lyrics, and they do have the paid version. So they're going to have that computer is going to send full screen to the TVs, but their secondary screen is going to be formatted for lower thirds that is going to go to the ATEM, where the DSK is going to superimpose the lyrics over top of lyrics of scripture over top of video. And that gives them one more input, which most likely is going to be still using the Panasonic 4K camcorder that they have right now that we already wired for. So that'll be good. I have the AJay imaging mounts because they will work on all of the cameras. I've looked at, I've used over 5 of these and they all work. So that's why I'm going with them. Nice, decent price, $50 for each. That's good. We are using the CV620s. Those are those same adapters that I use that will convert the RS-232 over to Ethernet. So it makes it a whole lot easier, more affordable to convert it to cables that we're already going to use. We got over about 1,000 feet of Cat6 that we're going to be using. So we're good for that. We also have the converter that's going to turn the 9-pin sub connection to 20 RS-232 over to Ethernet. So that sends. Now, again, when we do this, we're going to be daisy chaining from one camera to the next for the control. So that's going to be fairly straightforward. The only cables we have to go all the way back to home or to the media booth is going to be the Ethernet, which I need to make sure I do a different color. So people will know that sending network connections as well as power over Ethernet to power these cameras, all 3 versions of their choices of whatever they decide to pick, all of them are PoE. So that will solve that. So again, Ethernet cable going to a RS-232 converter for the joystick control. We also have another one that is going to for power. And then we also have an SDI cable coming back. Now, we could do everything with NDI. I did talk to them about that. But because they are sold on the flow of how they've already been doing stuff with OBS and everything like that, I think it's a simple change. But again, that's what the pastor wanted to do. So, hey, the customer is always right. I try and direct them. But after I explained it, they said they didn't want to go in that direction. So that's why we're not using NDI. And for those who want to know, because if we did NDI, the ATEM Mini wouldn't even need to be an option. We can do everything in OBS. The multi-view, everything could be done in OBS, and everything is going to be over the network. The problem is the network is not powerful enough to handle all of that. That's another reason why we didn't go in that direction. All right, so like right now, I have the AJay imagings here, but we also have the PTZ Optics 20X Gen 2, the non-NDI version. All right, so we got 2 of those there. We also need a joystick. We're going to go with the HuddleCam serial joystick. This is the same one that I have and I normally install. Yes, I could go with an IP camera because almost all of these can be controlled over IP. But again, the IP joystick is about double the price of this, going for around like $600, $700. And honestly, I'd rather keep it at this because now I have to introduce putting a new switch in the area, all this other stuff. Just kind of don't want to do that. I am getting a switch, but it's going to be a TP-Link PoE switch just to send power to the 2 cameras. So don't really need to go overkill. I mean, that PoE switch is like $50. All right. We also need 2 SDI to HDMI converters. And I think I can get these without, I'm going to get them with a plug. Oh, you're going to say it looks like all of them are back ordered except for this. So good thing is we'll have to get a USB-C cables and all that other fun stuff, and then just power it off of like a phone charger or like an Anchor multi USB charger or something like that. That would work as well too. All right. So again, don't get lost in the price because we have multiple versions of PTZ cameras there. It is their choice on which one they want to pick. This is going to be a decision that they're going to make there. I think that's everything. Because I'm going to be making cables myself. So I'm going to get a roll of, I still got about like 400 feet of RG6 SDI, RG6 cable. I just need to get some compression clamps, BNC connectors to make determinations on the cable, and we're good with that. And I think that's mainly it. So if we go here to a quick draw IO of the setup here. Just call St. Paul here. And what we're going to do is we have our media booth. So we're going to have our computer here. And I will say presentation PC. Then we're going to get our cameras, our PTZ cameras. And I'll just use, not that it matters, I'll get these right here. So we're going to be PTZ back, Panasonic, and then this is PTZ side. Because he doesn't want a front facing one right now. We might wire it for that, but it's not really needed. Now, what we're going to do is introduce the ATEM Mini Pro. So from here, we're going to bring in, and I need some TVs here. Because they do kind of different than what we do. They don't have any video, like camera shots on the TV. The TVs are just for presentations like scripture, lyrics, full screen. So this is going to be display number 2 is going here. And then from here, this is going to be display number 3 that is going to be specifically set for the lower thirds override. All right. And let's get our little converters in here. And of course, Windows wants to be loud right now while I'm installing this. So everything is coming from SDI. We only need 2 of these. So this is going to be SDI to HDMI that is going to live in the media booth. We need 2 of these. Now there's already a Cat 6 to HDMI that we did already. So that's already there. So instead of it connecting to the Elgato HD 60 that they were using, we're just going to connect it to the other input here. So we got input number 1, 2, 3, and 4. All right, so that's for all our inputs. Then this is going to be, and I put this on the wrong one. Let's just do it this way. All right, so these are SDI coming to their converters. And let's make these, let's make those black Ethernet cable. We're going to make those blue. And HDMI we will make red. So all of these. And that reminds me, I need to make sure that I have plenty of HDMI cables to connect to these. This cable already exists, so not anything major we got to do for this one. All right, and then again, this has already been done as well too. All right, so now what we need to do is daisy chain these. So we're going to run to the side PTZ first, because that's going to be the closest to go to, so that we don't have to run super long lengths of everything. So let's do our joystick over here. And so we're going to run this to our side camera. And I wish it would do it a different way. Don't like it, makes my stuff look tacky. Just realized that the joystick is obviously inside the media booth. So we're going to run this to here, and then this is going to run to here. So this is our daisy chain. And we're going to change that to blue, like we said. And let's put a dot on here so it makes it a little easier for us to understand what's going on. So that's the remote control right here. And then we also have one more. We have our switch, our PoE switch. And it doesn't really matter. This is just going to be our switch. So we already have internet coming in here. This is mainly going to be going to our cameras. Let me move this over here. And then I'm just going to make this one orange so you know that there's some power on this one. So PoE. So something like that. All right. Fairly straightforward. Because, again, most of this stuff we're not really touching. The main work is just going to be mounting the PTZs, running the SDI cable, the Ethernet cables, all the way back to the media booth. And that's it. And remembering the last time I was up there, I might widen the hole in there where all the cables are, or maybe make a new one. I think I might make a new one and put everything in a PVC pipe and make it look all nice and neat and clean, something like that. So maybe a 3 to 5 inch in diameter PVC pipe, and I'll secure those to the wall, something like that. But this is the design that we're doing, and I'm just waiting to find out which PTZ camera they want to go with, and then wait to hear of the approval. So that was my adventures for today. We're going to be installing the almost doing something similar, but with a Roland V60 HD at Faith Family Worship Center, as well as the Web Presenter HD that we reviewed. Thank you to Faith Family Worship Center for giving that to me, so me to do a review on it. Not that many people have reviewed the Web Presenter HD on YouTube, so thank you for that opportunity to do that. And then we're going to be hanging 3 PTZ cameras, 1 in the back and 2 on each side of the sanctuary. Filter, run all those cables all the way back. Those are PoE. I believe he also has an IP joystick, so that might make this easier as well too. But we will be climbing in the attic. Yay! So I need to make sure I got my flashlight with me. But we will see y'all tomorrow. And let me know if there's out of these vlogs. I normally, I vlog my day, but I also try and show you what I'm doing at other churches as well too. So if you have any other questions, please let me know down below. And also, I really appreciate y'all if y'all emailing me or contacting me or something like that. But just based off of the sheer number of emails and things that I get, I cannot call you. If you want to set up an appointment with me, please go to ajhomes.com/consultations, because at this point I have to live off my calendar. I know y'all need help. I want to help you as much as I can, but if you're not on my calendar, I'm balancing this, my responsibilities as a dad, as well as other responsibilities at church. So if you're just sending me something out of the blue and it's not on my calendar because you didn't go through that automated system that I have set up, I can't guarantee I'll be able to help you right now, because at this point I need to streamline everything that I'm doing so that I can give y'all my best as well as all my other responsibilities. But anyway, folks, we will see y'all tomorrow. Later.